So what we're going to do is we're going to deal with all the different things that are going on this evening. We have um, uh, a small two-game NBA slate. We have a showdown MLB slate. We also have a two-game MLB slate. I'm not going to play that. Excuse me. We also have hockey, and we have NFL showdown. So there's a lot of things we can go over, and I don't exactly know which order to do it in. I guess, well, first of all, I will say that I did update all projections for all sports through about 20 minutes ago. So if anything kind of happened in the last 20 minutes, it's just not going to get up there. And I'm going out in about, at best, I guess about an hour. And everything after that, I'm just kind of out. I might be back later, but it won't be for anything relevant. The other thing I have to do is I have to check on a horse thing that's going on here. Hold on a minute. So in the seventh race, you want full DGen city, right? So the seventh race at Horseshoe, Indiana. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to get through. 6, 7. Oh, that is actually good. 5, 6, 7th race. Wait, so 1 second. So in the 5th race, well, the 8th race to 6th, 7th race to 5. So 8th race to 6, 7th race to 5. Okay, so we're actually live for a pick 5 here. So we'll hopefully sweat that in a second. Hold on. Live pick 5. 4 for 4. And then what are we going to get if this comes in? We'll sweat this one live just for fun. That's going to pay, no, $26.60. Single wins. Okay. So we're definitely going to sweat that. But I guess let's talk about the NBA first. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put up my projections first, and we'll get a look at this. I mean, it's only a 2-game slate, so we can deal with all these different plays. What's up, Rich? We can share my screen here just for today. Okay. So this is again what a 2-game slate looks like. It's pretty, it's not that many players, so you could fit it all just kind of on one page here. But let's just kind of see who rates to be kind of the top, and it's no surprise that Giannis rates to be at the top of the board here, and he rates to be the highest owned, but not by that much. I have LeBron and Anthony Davis. All these guys look to be really high owned, which makes sense. The guy who's showing up as kind of like the big value piece here is Bobby Portis. When I re-rate these, for example, by points per dollar, you get both Patrick Beverley and Bobby Portis as good points per dollar plays, and they're being owned as well. Okay. What I'm trying to do is find something that is not that high owned, that's kind of near the top of the list. So the first thing I will look at, and this is the way I deal with 2-game slates, and then what I'll do is I'll have Saberson do a build, and then see where it gets me, because interestingly, I will tell you who my highest owned player is, and it's going to not really reflect what the projections look like. So what I'll do is I'll rate these by point per dollar. Let's just see if any of these guys that are even close to the top are going to be lower owned. I mean, not really. The closest thing I get to is maybe a 28% on Drew Holiday, maybe. And then you get down to maybe something like Marcus Morris or Zubac. These are the first guys. The guy who's interesting to me, 2 guys, are both from the Clippers. And to me, that would be Norman Powell and John Wall. Now, I haven't seen John Wall play in a long time, and I don't know exactly what he's going to get, but I am projected for 16 minutes. If he gets upside in those minutes and he's healthy, it's certainly on a 2-game slate something worth taking a stab at only 12% ownership. Okay, um, so that's one thing. And Norman Powell, I always like him in GPPs. He always is very active, and he's one of those guys that I like to say is kind of self-correlating. Like when he does well, he continues to do well. Like when he gets active, he stays active, and when he is scoring and getting to the rack, people will get out of his way and let him do it. And if he's not doing well, people won't go near him. Okay, so he's kind of a really cool GPP type play, at least in my opinion. A guy who I'm not really seeing the love for here is Kendrick Nunn. Like I see him at 35% ownership, and I just don't get it. At least from a projection perspective, like I'd much rather play DeAnthony Melton, who rates to be a better play at similar ownership than play Kendrick Nunn. Another guy who's getting a lot, which I'm getting a lot of too, is PJ Tucker. Now, again, there's kind of a theme to all this, is that in a 2-game slate, you really want to get these raw points. So you really want to try to get as much of this Giannis and Embiid stuff as possible. So that's why these $3,800 and 4,000 guys are going to be, people are going to play these guys. So that's kind of like the overall, I don't know, like a slate preview. I mean, a player preview. Let's see if I missed anybody. Again, like I don't want to dip too far below guys that are going to project it like 4x or something like that. I mean, unless they're tiny owned. I mean, I don't really see any of these guys particularly great. It's funny what happened to Reggie Jackson. I don't know if this projection seems low, but I guess they just, this is what I trust about the NBA per day. They're usually pretty solid. So you try to find kind of holes somewhere. So I guess if you want to have low-owned guys, maybe Zubac, Marcus Morris, Powell, and John Wall. Let's have fun. Let's do a brand new Saber Sim build just to kind of see what it looks like and what kind of things that we get. Okay, so let's just re-upload everything. Before I do that, I want to make sure that I don't miss my. Hold on, I just want to make sure I don't miss my race here. And we will definitely sweat. 3 minutes to post. All right, we'll get there. We're going to need the 8. We'll get back to this. This is for 2,800. I mean, it's worth sweating. Let's look at the LOL quarters. I took a shot at some underdogs today, which is probably a mistake. But anyway, all right. So we'll exclude unlisted players. We'll hit save, and then we'll just run. I don't know. What do you want to run? 30 lineups to see what it does. Well, actually, just for the purpose of this exercise, let's run 150 and see who ends up being kind of the highest owned guys in this type of build. So it looks like I'm getting a whole ton of Patrick Beverly. I guess he just kind of makes the rest of it work. And then, wow, Lonnie Walker, getting a bunch of him at 4,100. That's what you see. You see like these builds where you get 3 studs, Giannis, Davis, and LeBron. And I guess that makes a lot of sense. You want to be able to get these guys in for those raw points. So you got to take your medicine and play these cheapos. One thing I will say is that Tucker, being 3,500, I don't think that he fits with the Embiid builds all that well. I mean, just from a basketball perspective, because you'd think that they might be fighting for rebounds between the two of them, maybe. But if he's not going to be in when Embiid's in, then maybe this can work. But it just doesn't seem as though the Embiid Tucker pairing makes that much sense. But it will say I'm getting a bunch of this John Wall, which is really interesting. A bunch. Getting 15%. I mean, that's something. And again, like the NBA 2-game slates are kind of kind of ridiculous in a way. But I like playing them early in the season, especially just to kind of get used to the NBA again. Um, Let me see how much Nunn I get when I run this. I would imagine not that much. No, I'm getting 25%. It's a little below the field. So if you're going to play the NBA, I mean, I would go with my projections, and then if you want to use SaberSim to build lineups, I would trust them as far as building these things. The cool thing is you don't have to really worry too much about, especially on a 2-game slate, having too many guys from one team. That's a good question, Rich. Where is Man? That's a really good question. I have Terrence Mann with a 0 projection. He's on the Clippers. I don't know. Is he supposed to do well tonight? I have him. What can I tell you? Is he out? Something like that? Let's see. No, I just don't even. I literally don't have a projection on him. Maybe that's go back and look at it, but yeah, I mean, I don't know why I don't. Minor ankle injury. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even have him projected. It's kind of weird. We'll go back and take another look at that. Let's take a look and see if SaberSim first of all has them projected. And maybe I'm missing something. Let me just reset all of theirs. Let me see. Let's see. Terrence Mann. No, I have him with a 9-point projection. I don't even consider a guy unless he has a 15-point projection, so I'm just not getting him. Pop Warner, yeah, it's like CYO basketball or something like that. All right, so we gotta get the horse racing up. So we got to root here. Okay. So we have to root for the 8, and we gotta put this up here. I'm sure it's not gonna mind. And let's get it up here. From the horseshoe at Indianapolis, we have the 8 going off at 2-1, but more important, to get the pick 5 home at 2,800. Like that. So we'll watch that, and in the meanwhile, I'll get up the I guess the football, right? Let me see what I have as far as my football breakdowns. I did play everything, so I'll pull this up. So I don't really project these guys, these total hoodoos, but I kind of let randomness kind of get me there. Let me just pull up actually who I played, and then we can see if I'm missing somebody in my projections who I actually got to. Yeah, so this guy that I'm getting in some lineups is not exactly the guy that I have in my projections. I'll just let you know who I have. Well, let's just get this up here first. So according to my projections, aside from the normal guys, I'm getting a projection on Keith Kirkwood from New Orleans. I'm at 800. But the guy I'm actually getting when I do my builds is a 400 from Arizona named, okay, you ready? Ready for this one? Keontae Ingram. Now, if we were going to give a spelling test of who could spell Keontae, pretty sure no one would get that right except for his parents and him, obviously. So Keontae Ingram, I guess, is the backup to Eno Benjamin tonight at 400. I guess that's kind of the hoodoo du jour. And in fairness, I have like 23% of him. For whatever that's worth. Probably not much. Aside from that, it just seems to be your normal, your kind of your normal crew. Like you see, you have Kyler Murray, Alvin Kamara, Rondell Moore showing up as a really strong play. Now, what's interesting is that you have DeAndre Hopkins back, right? So DeAndre Hopkins he's going to be taking away from all these guys like Marquis Brown and all this stuff. But what was I going to say? But Rondell Moore, I still think is worth a flyer. Let me just see something about Marquis Brown. Yeah, so he's out, right? So he's on the injured reserve. As a matter of fact, thankfully, I remembered that. I have to take him out of my season long. I have him in a season long league, so we're gonna have to move Deontay Smith, Garrett Wilson, sorry, to replace him. It's a terrible roster I have now. Anyway, all right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the 8. Let's get this one home, and then we will talk about the like more of the football, and I'll show you my builds. But Rondell Moore with Marquis Brown out, that's why he's popping. It's such a great play, and it's hard for me to dispute it. I mean, where the target's going, it's going to be Hopkins, it's going to be Rondell Moore, and then like I said, you could play the. Boy, there's got to be other guys that I'm missing from the wide receivers from Arizona. Oh, Dortch, right? Dortch has no targets 2 weeks in a row, though. Maybe are we supposed to play him? I don't know. I'm not going to do it. But let's take a look and see if the 8 can get this done. Okay, here we go. And so he's right here. You see him right there in the. All right, so he's like not doing very well. He's struggling. He's definitely struggling to stay along. He's right there on the rail. See him right over here? In the pink. I mean, the pink silks. Okay, so it looks like we're threatening to move up a little bit. He's going to cross over. He's going to get past the 1. He's going to have to go get these guys. But these guys are such long shots. You tell me we really can't beat these guys? Let's see. Okay, so let's see. It's going to be interesting. So here he comes. He should go past this 22-1. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Don't be such a pig. Come on, switch leads and get past this thing. Come on, get through him. Get past him. Let's go. Let's go. Get past him. There you go. There you go. Now that's content for you. How many DFS content providers watch a live sweat of the pick 5? There you go. Very nice. Okay. Let's go switch back to the LOL for a minute. You got a dogfight going on over here. Okay, very nice. Yes, Ertz. Ertz is probably a very good play as well. So as a matter of fact, let's do a build. Let's do a SaberSim build and see what we can get to. And let's not rely on my aggregates here. Let's SaberSim do its thing, because we get some more. We get some more players that way. Can't explain exactly why that is, but you can. All right, so let's just do this. Let's play 30 lineups just for the hell of it. No, you know what? Let's play 150. Give me an idea. Yeah, so I'll be getting same guys, so I'm not missing anything. Rondell Moore, Kyler Murray, Eno, Ertz, Olave, Juwan Smith, all these guys. And I'm still getting that Keontae Ingram. They just really want me to play Keontae Ingram for some reason. Yeah, so that's pretty much the deal. So I guess if you rely on SaberSim, you'd get Rondell Moore, the most used captain, And then actually, it's interesting. I would only have DeAndre Hopkins 2% exposed to the captain position, which is seems a little scary, you know. But you put Rondell in the captain, it just opens up so much more as far as salary goes. I guess that's why. And that certainly makes sense to me. Let me just see what my. I'm glad I did this because I didn't realize that I had to take Marquis Brown out of my my season long. All right, let's go check back at the Rogue. I really want Rogue to fight here. And here you go. This is totally official. And there it is. Let's see. There it is. See that? Cash at 2,700. Gotta like that. Okay. So I guess that's it with respect to football. You'll see I don't really have too much exposure to the kickers and defenses. Yeah, make sure that you don't use the kicker that's probably going to be out. For which team again? One of the kickers is out, and now I forget which one it is, but Matt Prater, I think. Yeah, Matt Prater for Arizona. It says game time decision. Whoever is going to replace him is not going to end up in the slate, so I'm not worried too much about it. Just make sure that you don't. I wouldn't. First of all, I wouldn't play a hurt kicker anyway. So aside from that, that's about it. All right, just for fun, I mean, we may as well take a look at the showdown slate for the MLB. Hopefully, my Yankees can improve upon yesterday's performance. You have Valdez against Severino, and you know you have Harrison Bader, who is just basically just decided to just. I mean, he's like the Yankees' best hitter right now. Let's just see. Let's take a look and see if we just use the Sabres and projections, what kind of lineups we would get to. Let's play 150. I'm always curious to see if they give us any relievers or anything like that. I wouldn't imagine on this slate you would have that because Valdez just goes so many innings. And I think Severino is online to go a decent amount of innings as well. So I think it's going to look like a very normal type of showdown slate. Yeah. So you don't see anybody, weird in these lineups, right? Oh, that's not true. Getting a little something. You're getting some Hector Neris from Houston, maybe in the captain. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But aside from that, it's just kind of like your normal stuff. Yeah, look at this. A couple of you get like 3% of these relievers if you play 150. I wonder if you played 30 though. If you get to these, I doubt it. Let's just take a look. No, you get a little something. Are we going back to basketball? Okay, give me a second. But yeah, with the baseball, you do get some of these relievers and some of these builds. So pretty interesting actually. Can you do this? I mean, you play Montero and Hector Neris and Miguel Castro. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that is the chalk build. I mean, all those are chalky. I mean, really to get this slate right, you have to get the 3K guys right. That's pretty much the bottom line. And yeah, I mean, it's just too easy to play these. It's just too easy to play those. Whatchamacallits. Well, it's interesting. I'm getting these relievers. I should probably play them. The other thing you could do, by the way, and I'll get back to basketball in a second, is you could limit your salary. which is I think I'm going to do that in the builds where boy oh boy, I think in the builds where I don't have the relievers, I probably want to put a cap on the salary. I think that makes sense. Let me look through these. It's kind of strange. Nearest. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rebuild this actually because I do want to limit the salary. I want to attempt to get unique here. So I'm gonna cap it at 48.8. And then I promise I will go back to basketball. Just give me a second. And I'll talk about hockey for a minute too. And then we can call this. I did update hockey as much as I could. I don't have time to do it again though. So if I cap it at 48.8, or if I make it a 48.8 ceiling, am I still getting all that crap? No, I'm not. So that's what I'm probably going to do. Probably won't play those relief pitchers, and instead cap my cap my salary at 48.8. That's usually a good way to attempt to get unique in these types of showdowns, and for all sports, honestly. In basketball, 2-game slates, even though it's only a 2-game slate, I don't think I would intentionally try to leave money on the table in basketball. Basketball is just, even in a 2-game slate, it's just too projectable. If you leave too much on the table, you're just giving up, I think, kind of way too much. So Rich, you're going to be going more LeBron and Giannis, fading. Yeah, I mean, all these are fine. Payton, you know what I mean? Like, I hate to be like this, but in a 2-game slate, you really can do any of those things. Fade Harden, play more Embiid and Drew, sure. I mean, you're not going to get me to argue with you any of those 4 top plays. It's just basically, it's basically a crapshoot. That's what 2-game slates are. With respect to the hockey, I just want to kind of go over who I ended up playing, and that's probably it. I did update my projections as much as I could. I did ended up in my bigger lineup with Vegas and a little bit of Toronto as well. That's my main pairing. I think my overall, Vegas is my number 1 stack on the day. And it's a big slate, and I'm playing a whole bunch of them. So it's probably too much of the one team, but nonetheless. And what's kind of cool is that it doesn't start until like all hours. It's like 10 o'clock at night. So I'm going to be alive like for quite a long time. So what you're doing, you're leaving 400 or 500 a line, and some are full 50. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just let it. What I'm saying is if you get lineups that are less than 500, don't fight it, but don't force yourself to get lineups that are leaving 500. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's just take another quick look-see at this. Nah, it looks like it's going to be chalk in the League of Legends. By the way, I don't know if I gave a full trip report. For those of you who don't know, I went to the League of Legends thing a few weeks ago. It seems like a long time ago. It was only like a week and a half ago. I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun. I like to experience new things in general, and listen, I probably wouldn't go back, but it's definitely something I'm really glad I did. It's such a big business. The place was packed. Souvenirs are flying off the shelves. I mean, they have these. It was like $130 for like a sweatshirt, and that you couldn't even get them. They were just flying off the shelves. They gave the champions like the toys or something like that, like the memorabilia. It was just crazy. And look, this is really big business, and I was kind of happy that it came to New York and I was able to experience it. It's kind of cool. All right. So you like Paul George? Sure. one thing I will say is that I'm very surprised. I didn't even realize Kawhi Leonard was still in the league. I haven't seen. Seems like I haven't seen him play in so long. So yeah, just to give you guys a little heads up again, this weekend I am not going to be able to go live Sunday. I'm going to be coaching this weekend. One other thing, also, I put up an MMA video for this Saturday. Just kind of a heads up. I didn't know there was Kawhi news pending. Is he not supposed to play? What the hell do I know, right? Kawhi. Let's see. I have no Kawhi news. All I just see is they're considering bringing him off the bench. Is that the news you're talking about? Oh yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing him anyway. Yeah, even if he starts, I just don't think I'm gonna do it. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, the Kawhi is just gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, he plays 20. He's not gonna be a 36-minute guy. I don't think. I don't know. The fact that they're considering him coming off the bench. That's my opinion. I don't know. Hey, NBA, it's week one. It's everything's up in the air. Oh, so what I was going to say is the MMA card this week, Saturday, it starts at 10 in the morning because it's in Abu Dhabi. So make sure that you get your lineups in, or at least get up early to make sure that you get your lineups in on Saturday. For those of us that believe that 10 o'clock is early on a Saturday, I can't imagine the last time I slept past 10 o'clock. Long time ago. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, pending any questions. Yeah, I guess that is kind of worth looking at, the Kawhi thing. And if in fact he's going to start, and they say no restrictions, and you're not doing so well after the Milwaukee Philadelphia game, maybe you could swap LeBron for Kawhi or something like that, and get yourself a little different. I think it actually does make a little bit of sense to do that. If in fact he's starting, I'm not playing him off the bench or anything. All right, so I guess I'm going to get going. Good luck, everybody, and yeah, somebody take something down.